like you're under a lot of pressure to perform.
I see. So because of this, in this rather unexpected and unusual circumstance, I have taken over the responsibility, which was prior to this shouldered by the president of the party as far as the ministership goes. And of course, there is expectation from the community that being the sole Indian representative in the cabinet, I will be vocalizing their aspirations and future towards their satisfaction. And I am, of course, completely aware of that need, and also in the present circumstances to ensure that this representation is not only done, but the results from this representation is actually felt by the people. If we were to have any impact on the future political direction of the Indian community. Nobody expected it. Not in my wildest dream I would have thought, anybody would have thought that I would ended up in this position till the results of the election day, So my initial reaction was it was a responsibility bestowed because of a rather unfortunate situation. And that's how I take it. But I take the responsibility. I prepared myself physically and mentally to meet up to these new challenges, and I'm sure I'll fulfill the role effectively. I have no doubts on that, and work towards the betterment of the Indian community, in of course taking into consideration of the expectations of the community at the present moment in time. So we are in a challenging era, challenging time, and our approaches, our targets have to reflect the needs of our people at this present moment. There were grievances within the Indian community. We were aware of it. We have represented these grievances, and there has been response from the government. But there was a growing perception in the community of a feeling of unfairness which was there, which we have managed it well before. I mean, we have although the feeling was there, we were able to manage it by the community in explaining and living with it, at the same time progressing along with it. But the events which occurred over the last few months sort of provoked a section of our community to question everything which was in force before. And when they did that, whatever we have done did not appear sufficient or adequate as far as their subjective assessment went. So, and this was to some extent also once that thing was triggered off, the opposition politicians of course took advantage of it, and they amplified it, they spread it, and so it became a wildfire-like thing, and our attempts to contain it by meeting the people and meeting targeted groups probably met with some success, but I think it was not enough. There was not enough time between the onset of these events and the calling of the elections for us to actually overcome all this. So when we went into the election, we knew we would lose some seats, but not as many as what we lost. We knew probably the Penang, Kedah, we would have problems in those areas because the ground feelings were completely aware of. But we never thought we'd lose all seats in Perak, for example. That came as a shock. But what has happened is from those areas, this feeling has spread unnoticed to quite a lot of us. And once it spread, then we only were made to feel of it when the counts came. That is one reason. The other reason is the younger generation of voters, I mean those less than 30 years of generation of voters who were subjected to, particularly those who were exposed to the alternate media, they were exposed to a lot of information which was negative to the ruling government. And I think there, as a Barisan Nation as a whole, we failed to provide alternate information to what was being produced by our opposers. And so that generation just got influenced by one set of information which was available to them. And I think a great proportion of that generation would have voted against us. A great one, because whatever media they were exposed to, the perception they got was it was not, I was against the Barisan Nasional and MIC. And so that definitely contributed. We saw that trend when we analyzed voting trends in the areas where younger generation votes. Consistently, most of the areas we lost. And there was also another dangerous trend where this younger generation actually affected the older generation. The children, for example, in my area, so children were working in KL and other areas, so went back to vote, affected their parents who were strong supporters of us by going and telling things which are contrary. So there was that wave, it was a wave, and I think modern technology helped to spread that very quickly and without any other thing which can stop them. So all these are things which we have to contend with and prepare ourselves for the future.